There's a lot of talk in the manosphere about the cock carousel, and we all know what it is. But do you really know what it is? Do you know what horse you are on the CC? One of the coolest things about being a red pill aware man is the ability to look at other men and their relationship to women, and it's really easy to see what pony they are on that woman's CC if that's the type of woman that you're dealing with. Let's talk about that. When you have a woman who has a high notch count, generally what you have is a woman that's got a large amount of male orbiters in her life. And what that means is there are different men, different sets of guys that these women have dealt with that meet different needs in her life. And you'll never find out about this. If you ever do, it's usually too late. Whenever you find out about this circus ride, it's catastrophic, and it's usually what drives most men to red pill content and a red pill lifestyle. So, in order to give you an idea of what you might be dealing with, let's take a look at the horses on her carousel. And first and foremost, we'll talk about the horse that she values and desires the most, which is the Clydesdale. Now this is the physical horse on her carousel. This is generally the guy that the red pill community refers to as your Chad and your Tyrone. These are generally your tall dudes, overly muscled dudes, and for the most part, these guys, that's pretty much all they have to offer anyone is that. It's just they are, like I said before, they're the equivalent of the female thought. That's what you get. And just like the female, most of these guys have never had to develop anything of a real personality outside of that charm to do that. And those are the guys that are typically your Chads and Tyrones. Those guys, they give her absolutely nothing. She requires nothing of them. To her, them sleeping with her validates her value. Even though we know as men, sleeping with a woman means fuck all. But the Clydesdale, that's her preferred pony to ride. And if she's a woman that's attractive, that's going to be the biggest horse in her stable. Now the next one is the workhorse, your field horse, your plow horse. Now this is your blue collar guy that works his ass off. He doesn't have a lot, but he'll give everything to her. This dude is typically a blue pill guy. He works his ass off. He has old values. And so what she does is she sells to this guy the dream that she's going to be this perfect housewife or whatever. And she lures this guy with the idea of sleeping with him because typically these guys have traditional values. So they won't push the sex like the Clydesdale will. These workhorses, these are the guys that'll answer the phone at 2 in the morning after she's finished fucking Chad and Tyrone and she gets a flat on the way home. The workhorse will get up out of bed, drive to wherever she's at, change her tire, and pay for her gas so she'll get home. He has no expectations, and he's thankful whenever she rewards him with sex. And she sleeps with this guy because a lot of times this guy he's physical as well. Generally, the workhorse is the guy. He might be the mechanic. He might be a home builder, a roofer, or whatever. But this guy is typically your general family guy. He's a nice dude, typical American white picket fence values, which makes him very susceptible to lies and bullshit. And then you have your goofy circus horse. Now this guy is what typically is referred to as a beta. Now this dude he knows that he has no value physically, and generally he uses his money to get him whatever favor that he might have with women. These guys are really easy for these thoughts to manipulate because they're not physically attractive dudes. Their finances are supposed to elevate them, and typically these women will sleep with these guys, and these are the guys that end up paying the bills and doing all the stuff that the other two-tier dudes won't do because they, if and when they find out she's a slut, these guys will typically check out, or they'll remove themselves from doing anything outside of just using her for her sex. This goofy circus horse, this guy is such a tool that he believes all of her shit. He believes that these other guys are just her friends. He believes all of the girls' night out tales. This is the guy that she typically runs to whenever these other guys hurt her feelings. But then you have the children's pony, the small ones the little kids can ride. This dude is her emotional tampon. Typically, you might find these horses all built in one, but usually when a woman has the ability to have the cock carousel the way that she wants it, this is the safe guy. This is the guy that she can run to, cry to, and he will do everything to make her feel better. Now, she'll sleep with every one of these guys, and in order of their ranking is the order of her freakiness, her sexual encounters with them, but also from low to high, that's how much investment is included. So the guy at the bottom of this totem pole, the smallest horse on the carousel, this dude, the financial, time, emotional, every expense that comes in dealing with her, this guy expends the most for the least return. And the next guy on the up the totem pole, he spends a little bit less for more return. Follow me. This is what you need to know. As you go higher up, the guy has to give her less for her to give him more. So on this cock carousel hierarchy, the higher dudes, the Chads, the Tyrones, the Clydesdale guys, they don't give her compliments, they don't give her money, they give her very little time. What they do is they give her sex, rough sex. And what she gives to them is freaky, kinky, nasty porno star sex. Because what she's trying to do with these guys is get her to act like the bottom tier dudes. She's not doing any of that shit with these guys at all, ever. Not even to start. Because these fish on the bottom of the totem pole, they don't require real bait. All they require is her to show up. So when you look at this carousel, when you look at if you're dating a girl that you're suspect of, that you have any questions about, all you have to do is look at this checklist and find out where you fit on this checklist. Now, once you find this out, once you discover this, you don't need to expose it, just observe it. Just observe it. When you see this, if you have this rotation going on in your face, you will see it play out. Now that you understand the different horses and their function, then you will no longer discount this goofy, corny guy, that you look at and go, she'd never fuck him because I'm dope. Well, what kind of horse is he? That's what you need to understand. They're not all going to be like you. If you're the corny horse, well, you're a jackass if you think that Clydesdale that likes all of her pictures and gives her compliments is just her friend. The only guy that's just her friend is you. That's if she tells you that and you believe it, it's only you that believes it. You need to understand that. So for those of you who wish to deal with these women and hypergamy and all of the wonderful bullshit that goes with them. Understanding the carousel will keep you at least aware of your place. Make no mistake. Have you ever seen a carousel at a circus with one horse? Never. Never. Unless maybe Michael Jackson had one. I don't know. But chances are you've never seen this. To find a woman in modern day society that only wants you to be the horse on her carousel, it is Disney thinking. That is Disneyland shit. It's too easy for the carousel to form. Carousels form without women even trying. If you can find a woman that's not interested in that, you truly have a unicorn. But we know unicorns don't exist. So stay aware, be aware, pay attention, and don't be a jackass. Out.